Woods happened before the end of the war. So these J-offs were so cocky that they got together and had a meeting basically creating the first part of the petrodollar, but saying, all right, Winston, you're effed. Sorry, Rothschilds, even though you own 16% of this bank, your pound's not going to be the currency. The dollar's going to be the currency. And that's our trade for getting American men slaughtered in World War II, was just a central banking war. It had nothing to do with Hitler, actually. Very little to do with Hitler. So the only part that did was his economic miracle from 1933 to 1938, where he was competing with the other empires, and they didn't like that. And you can cite all the papers from the 1935 to 38 where they're calling for boycotts of German goods. That's both World War I and World War II were because of the German efficiency and mastery with machinery. They didn't like competition. And so what that's come into now from its first iterations at Bretton Woods were 1970, Charles de Gaulle from France says, I'm calling bullshit, folks. You don't have the gold to back this currency that you're making us use. Well, what happened 11 months later? Nixon gets on national television, I believe it was August 14th, 1971, give or take, and says, we're temporarily removing the dollar's peg to gold, because at that time the peg was fixed from 44 at 35 bucks an ounce. And that's really what caused the hyperinflationary, if some of you were alive in the 70s, that was one of the worst periods in human history. Now we're catching up to that, and we're about to have another big hyperinflationary wave.